How about now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, all right. All right, there we are, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here at the First Alert Desk again this Sunday. Hopefully you got a chance to go outside and get some steps. Gosh, it's such a beautiful day, and we had the same weather yesterday. So Mother Nature has just been blessing all of us with some great days, and it looks like the forecast this week is actually going to be pretty nice, and we're not tracking any rain, not until late next week. So I'm really excited about that, and we're going to have a lot more details on that later on in our newscast tonight. But let's start off on a high note. I realize we kind of go right into the hard-hitting story of the day, but today I wanted to mix things up just because it's a special day, and a special day for someone very special to America. It's our oldest living president. Former President Jimmy Carter is celebrating his 99th birthday today, so we're going to take you down to Plains, Georgia for a little fun and just show you how the community where he's from is celebrating him today. And, you know, yesterday we had the Carter Center celebrating him. They had admission was only 99 cents to get in. We talked a little bit about that, but now I want to let you hear from our Atlanta News First reporter, Doug Reardon, who is in Plains right now. He's been there all weekend, and he's been able to speak with quite a few interesting people who made the trek just to celebrate in Plains, Georgia with the former president.
The sleepy little town of Plains remained that way for the big day. Jimmy Carter typically spends his birthday with his family, and that was the plan again this year. But his admirers came from all over to celebrate Jimmy Carter in all sorts of ways.
I knew his birthday was coming up on October 1st. I thought, that's a weekend. What if, could I, you know?
So April Kirkman of California did.
So I took a red eye last night from San Francisco to Atlanta, and I slept a little bit in the car, and then I drove down here.
To Plains to celebrate her favorite president on his 99th birthday with her guitar in tow. Kirkman sang us a song she wrote for Jimmy Carter on his birthday.
He worked for peace in the Middle East, fought hard for human rights. I wish that he has a wonderful, spirit-filled day. He feels the love.
Down the road at Maranatha Baptist Church, where Carter attended and taught his famous Sunday school lessons that drew people from around the world.
You know, we're celebrating the birthday of a man 99 years old today.
A small group of friends and worshipers marked the big day, 99 years of service to the nation.
If you want to go for 100, I'm here with you.
Jan Williams has been with Carter at Maranatha from the very beginning. She's not surprised by the support from big names and small that have poured in for the former president's birthday.
The outpouring of love, to me, is just a part of his legacy because he has done so much for the entire world, so much for common man.
The peanut farmer turned president that inspired people all over the world without ever losing his hometown roots.
Plains is Jimmy Carter. Can't take him out of it, and he'll be here forever.
And of course, Jimmy Carter lived the longest of any president after he left the White House, but Jan tells us she's pretty sure he's the oldest resident in Plains as well. That's where we are tonight. Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.
Gosh, I just love that story, and it just makes you love Jimmy Carter, right? And, you know, he's done so much for humanity. You see him out there building homes, and that's just really who he is. And he is Georgia, and he is certainly Plains, Georgia. And when someone doesn't lose their roots like that, I mean, it's so telling about their character. So what an honor that anyone has to be able to meet the former president, or if they have had a chance to do that. I wish I was someone like that. But actually, Miss Carly Barnett is someone who had a chance to do that, and she had just, of course, the best stories to tell about that. So, all right, so now we're going to shift a little bit and talk about some other stories that are making headlines tonight. And not exciting. These are the stories that we don't like telling you about, the ones that are devastating to families. But these are the stories that we want to make sure that you know are going on in your backyard and just around you, because we are all in this together, and we also have a duty to make sure you're informed. So this is a story that caught my eye. I want to show you right now. This is Officer Robert Clark out of the Tattenall County Sheriff's State Prison. And the Georgia Department of Corrections says that he was attacked while he was transporting 2 inmates from the dining hall. They say that one of the inmates by the name of Leighton Lester allegedly attacked him with a homemade weapon, and the other inmate actually tried to stop the inmate from attacking him and was unsuccessful. Then Officer Clark and the inmate was taken to the hospital. Unfortunately, Officer Clark did not survive, but the suspect in this case, Leighton Lester, made it out with non-life-threatening injuries. So he's now charged with the death of who you're looking at right now, which is Robert Clark. He's 42 years old, and just you can only imagine what his family's going through tonight with all of that. So we are going to be digging further into that, and we're going to see what else the Georgia Department of Corrections has to tell us about that. All right, so now I want to shift gears again, and we're going to talk about another story that has really garnered a lot of attention today. I want to bring your attention to this. Family is searching for who you're looking at right here. This is 48-year-old Amy, let me make sure I get this right, Lefakis? Amy Lefakis, she's out of Brookhaven. She went missing on Friday, and now police are saying that she's considered critically missing. Now, there's been some developments already in this case. Right now, we do have our reporter, Yasmina Alston, looking into this. She is going to be speaking with people who are close to Amy tonight, so we're going to have that in our newscast not too far from now. And what we know is that police have already arrested an individual who they say is not connected to her disappearance, but is part of this investigation. Let me get this gentleman's name. If you give me a moment here, I can pull that up. Brandon Weininger is the man who has been arrested in connection to this investigation. But again, I want to clarify, not in connection to her disappearance, according to investigators. Now, police have already told us that they have interviewed several of her family members and friends that are close to her. And that's why right now they feel like these are the moments that count the most. They want to make sure that we get her picture out there tonight, her story when she was last seen, and just some of her details about the way she was spending her time. So hopefully we can get some more clarification from family and friends tonight. We will look for that report from Yasmina Alston later on. So those are really our top stories tonight. And make sure that you tune in, because at 6:30, we actually don't have a football situation tonight. And we will be back on at 6:30, and that has not been the case for the last several weeks. So if you're interested in these stories and also the other stories that we're working on, a lot has happened this past weekend and this weekend. So we're just keeping an eye on all of the different stories developing in our community, and you can catch them at 6:30, at 10, and at 11. And if you miss anything, you can always download our free Atlanta News First app, and you will get all of the updates sent directly to your phone. So make sure that you stick around with us, and we will see you again later on tonight. And hopefully you are getting outside at some point today. I really hope you do, because it's perfect. So have a great night.